Serve. Leading off, 15 is for LeBron. Hitting second, number 7, Jake Walters. Hitting third, number 9 is Mike Davis. And cleanup spot is number 19, Kevin Peconin. In second base is Andres Arroyo, number 19. Please rise as we honor America.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Plattsburgh Redbirds baseball. Today is August the 10th, 2017, Thursday afternoon. A beautiful sunny day here in Plattsburgh, New York, where the Old Orchard Beach Surge are coming to town, and they're actually going to play the Plattsburgh Redbirds a total of 8 times over the next 6 days. And today's the beginning of all that action, and we're going to bring it to you live here on the Empire League YouTube channel. We will also broadcast tomorrow's game. Same start time, 4:30 p.m., as hopefully the weather will hold out. And the Plattsburgh Redbirds are on the field, and they're going to take on the Old Orchard Beach Surge with the following defensive alignment. You can see behind the plate the catcher, Yordani Salva. The third baseman is Brian Bradaman. The shortstop is Josh Martinez. The second baseman is Andres Arroyo. Playing first base, Manny Sanchez. And the outfield from left to right, Tarek Elabur is in left field. Christian Nazario Cruz in center field. And Ronald Jackson is in right field. And on the mound, the SUNY Plattsburgh graduate from Suffern, New York, the right-hander Daniel Roser. And as far as I can tell, this is his first time on the mound this season. And he's going to face the following lineup. Edgar LeBron will lead off, playing right field for the Surge. Jake Walters, the second baseman, bats second. Mike Davis in left field bats third. Kevin Pudcone, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Matt Martinez in center field bats fifth. Javon Jackson, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Jake Simpson behind the plate catching, he's batting seventh. Tony Bucaris, the third baseman, bats eighth. And Sebastian Diaz, the shortstop, is going to bat ninth. Take a look at the overall standings here in the Empire League 2017. This is the second year of the league's existence, and the first in which the Plattsburgh team has been in existence. You can see the two teams that are playing each other today tied with an overall record of 25 and 18. Then Puerto Rico and Sullivan, the Explorers, both have records of the exact opposite, 18 and 25. Plattsburgh won the first half, and right now Old Orchard Beach is leading the second half. And so these two teams are about to embark on a very busy week, 8 games in 6 days. And stepping up to the plate for the Surge is the right-handed hitting Edgar LeBron Jr. And this ball game getting ready to begin. LeBron Jr. hitting at .307. He's played in 36 games. 39 hits and 127 at-bats, including a home run, 2 triples, and 7 doubles. And home plate umpire Edgar Garcia says play, and here we go. First pitch from Daniel Roser. Fastball is high, ball 1. Only a light breeze blowing lazily out towards left field. You see the flag above the scoreboard in left center field is blowing from right to left. 1-0 pitch. That one missed low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Edgar LeBron Jr. with a 2-0 count, leading off the ball game. And here comes the pitch from Rosa. This one slapped down the right side, foul. That's strike 1. LeBron is from Queens, New York, South Richmond Hill. 24-year-old. He's going to turn 24, rather, in December, and he's got a rather interesting story. He has suffered hearing loss ever since he was a toddler. There's a pitch high, and the pitch count is now 3-1. LeBron, who has had hearing aids since he was a little boy. That reminds one of Curtis Pride, former major leaguer, who also. And there's a fly ball into left field. This is sending Elabur back, and he reaches up the ball, hits off his glove, and bangs off the wall. So LeBron racing around second base. He is thinking about 3. Here's the throw. He slides. He is safe. So Edgar LeBron is on third base to start the ball game. Tarek Elabur in left field went back, and he got the heel of the glove on it. So we'll see how that's going to be scored. And it's going to be a triple for Edgar LeBron. So he gets the ball game off, started in the right style for the Surge. And they immediately have a chance to take a first inning lead here, as Jake Walters will step up to the plate.
Jake Walters.
Walters is one of the leading hitters in the league. He's got 3 home runs, third in the league with 33 hits. And the pitch, high and outside, ball one. Went to Quincy University. Did Jake Walters. Runner on third base, Edgar LeBron. And Roser's 1-0 pitch, outside 2-0, second straight hitter he's fallen behind. Surge trying to take an early lead here in this ball game. Here it comes. And that one is way high. 3 balls, no strikes. I mentioned Daniel Roser had not started a game all year. And he fell behind 3-1 to LeBron, gave up that triple to deep left field. Now he's 3-0 on Jake Walters. And that pitch is outside, ball 4. So, first and third now. You got Walters at first base, LeBron at third, Mike Davis stepping up to the plate.
Number 9, Mike Davis.
Davis hitting .269, but he's got 4 home runs on the season. And in case you're wondering, Jake Walters has stolen 1 base in 1 attempt, so he's on first, although I think with the early control issues for Roser, Pascual Santiago might sit back and wait and see what happens. So here's Mike Davis, first and third. Very short lead at first for Walters. He's not going. The pitch is inside for a ball as the wind picks up a little bit. Next one on the way. That one missed, a bit low, and the count 2 balls, no strikes. Now, sometimes when you're falling behind early on, you have to really earn that first called strike. So Roser, his body language a little bit less than positive after that. Now he's missed outside, and he's behind the second consecutive hitter. He's only thrown 1 strike in the ball game, not including the triple that Edgar LeBron drilled to deep left field. So 3 balls, no strikes on Davis. He will most likely be taking, and he takes ball 4. So the bases are loaded, and now Kevin Pitkonen steps up to the plate. Pitkonen hitting .268. He's got 3 home runs on the season and also 10 doubles. So he is hitting the ball hard. He's also drawn 20 walks. This is in 174 plate appearances and a quick meeting on the mound. Joe Winklesass, the coach for the Plattsburgh Redbirds, out to have a chat with the SUNY Plattsburgh graduate. So right away in big trouble, you got Kevin Pitkonen from Windsor, Connecticut, who also played in the Atlantic League with the New Britain Bees. Listed at 6 foot, 210 pounds, obviously a powerful hitter. Mentioned those 3 home runs. Well, the bases are loaded and nobody out. As we are here in the top of the first inning, the Surge threatening right away, trying to draw first blood here in Plattsburgh. And the pitch, that's a line shot to right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. All the runners had to wait. Throw comes to the infield. 1 run will score, and it is 1-0 Surge on the RBI single. LeBron comes in. Walters goes to third. Davis moves to second. Pitkonen with an RBI single. And it is 1-0 Old Orchard Beach. Base is still loaded, nobody out. Walters, Davis, and Pitkonen, the base runners, and Matt Martinez will step up to the plate. Martinez stands very close to the plate. And Danny Roser lifts the leg, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Roser, whose parents are John and Sue Ann. He's one of 3 boys who are both Cortland State swimmers. There's a swing and a pop-up. Foul territory behind the plate, might stay in play. The first baseman and the catcher, Sanchez, and it's going to be Salva with the catch. And that's a big out. That's the first out. Base is still loaded. that's going to bring up Javon Jackson, the designated hitter.
Number 25, Javon Jackson.
Javon Jackson, who is from Sugar Land, Texas. He attended Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas. Also played for the Somerset Patriots. He was the 2016 Empire League Championship Series MVP, hitting a home run in the 2-game series against Watertown. Bases loaded, the pitch, lined foul, strike one. Off to the right. 6'5", 200 pounds. He's going with the stirrups today. Walters is at third, Davis at second, Putkonen at first. And there's one out in the inning. Danny Roser trying to eke his way through and put this one in the books. Here's the pitch on the way. Fly ball hit to center field. Nazario Cruz started back, now comes in. He makes the catch. Runner tags from third, and he will score. So it is 2-0 on the sac fly off the bat of Javon Jackson. As Jake Walters scores, there are 2 down. The Surge have the lead. Let's look at that pitch on the replay. Nothing fancy. He's just trying to throw a strike, fastball down and in, and Jackson doing his job, getting a fly ball deep to the outfield that could score a run. So the Surge take a 2-0 lead, and that will bring up Jake Simpson, the 7th man to bat in the inning. Excuse me, James Simpson.
Jake Simpson.
Simpson hitting .265 on the air. He's got 22 hits in 83 at-bats. Of his 22 hits, 5 have been doubles. Runners on first and second, and he swings and fouls away the first pitch. That's strike one. Simpson is from Garland, Texas. He is 22 years of age. He just turned 22 back at the end of July. The Surge have scored 2 runs here in the first inning thanks to a triple and 2 walks. A single, an RBI single off the bat of Kevin Putkonen, and then a sac fly. Pitch is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sac fly off the bat of Javon Jackson, drove home the second run. Mike Davis is at second, Putkonen is at first. 2 down, and it's a 1-1 count. And the pitch, there's a strike. Nope. That is a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Danny Roser's set, checks around, here's the 1-2. Curveball, and he struck him out. Well, Roser recovers to get through with minimal damage, I suppose. 2 runs on 2 base hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second inning here in Plattsburgh. The Old Orchard Beach Surge 2, Plattsburgh Redbirds coming to bat. This is Empire League Baseball live on their YouTube channel. As we come back to the bottom half of the first inning, the Surge scoring 2 runs on 2 hits in the top half, and the Redbirds will come to the plate. Defensively for the Old Orchard Beach Surge, it looks like this. That is James Simpson behind the plate and catching. Tony Bucaris is playing third base. Sebastian Diaz is the shortstop. The second baseman is Jake Walters. The first baseman, Kevin Putkonen, who drove in a run with a single in the top half of the inning. The left fielder is Mike Davis. The center fielder is Matt Martinez. And the right fielder is Edgar LeBron, whose triple got things going. On the mound and pitching is the left-hander Matt Picucci. And Picucci has had a wonderful year. His ERA 1.13 in 5 games. He started all of his games. 32 innings pitched. Only 22 hits and 6 runs, 10 walks, 35 strikeouts. And he is from Naples, Florida, a former Sonoma Stomper, and he's going to face the following lineup for the Plattsburgh Redbirds. Christian Nazario Cruz, the center fielder, will lead off. Josh Martinez, the shortstop, bats second. Yordani Salva, the catcher, bats third. Brian Bradman, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Andres Arroyo, the second baseman, bats fifth. DeAndre Van Slyke, the designated hitter, will bat sixth. Tarek Elabor, the left fielder, will bat seventh. Manny Sanchez, the first baseman, bats eighth. And Ronald Jackson, the right fielder, will bat ninth. These two teams have met 8 times so far in the year, and Plattsburgh has won 5 of those 8 times. But right now, Old Orchard Beach is in the lead in the second half standings. They have a record of 10-3 since the All-Star break. Plattsburgh and Puerto Rico both tied with 7-6, and the Sullivan Explorers 3-10. Plattsburgh obviously won the first half championship, so they have already secured their spot in the finals. And so the question is, who is going to be their opponent? As Christian Nazario Cruz will step up to the plate. Nazario Cruz hitting at .261. That's 31 hits and 119 at-bats. He also has 30 walks. So his OBP of .397. He has stolen 11 bases, 3 doubles, and here we go as Plattsburgh will try to answer the 2 runs that the Surge scored in the top half of the inning. And the left-hander Matthew Picucci has his sign and deals the first pitch. That's low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Nazario Cruz and then Martinez and Yordani Salva. 1, 2, 3 in the order. And Picucci, the left-hander, kicks and deals. That one fastball missed the inside corner. Picucci working from the third base side of the rubber. 2-0 the count. Here it comes on the way to Cruz. That one is in there, a fastball. 2-1. Picucci's 1.13 ERA leads the league. That is when you factor in at least 30 innings. And he also leads the league in strikeouts with 35. There's a swing and a bouncing ball towards short. 2 big bounces for Diaz, but his throw is way over the first baseman's head. And Cruz will stop at first base. That was a pretty routine play. We'll look at that one on the instant replay. But that's going to be an E6. So right away, Plattsburgh given an opportunity. They have a base runner. And that's going to bring up Josh Martinez. Josh Martinez from Houston, Texas. He is 24 years of age from Cypress, Texas. Attended Houston Baptist University. And he's up there with the runner on first base, Cruz, and the pitch from the left-hander Picucci is low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Martinez hitting at .233 on the year. That's 28 hits and 120 at-bats, but he does have 2 triples and 7 doubles. And he looks at a ball number 2. Looked like an off-speed pitch from Picucci. Runner at first base is Cruz. He's taking a short lead. The left-hander Picucci with a slide step. There's a line drive right to the shortstop. Diaz with the catch, and there's one away. And that'll bring up Yordani Selva. 2-0 surge. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Selva from Vega Alta, Puerto Rico. Played rookie ball with the Kansas City Royals. He was drafted. Attended the Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy. And he looks at a strike on the first pitch. He's batting .179, however, this year in 13 games, only 28 plate appearances. The Surge got their 2 runs in the first inning, an RBI single off the bat of Kevin Putkonen, and a sac fly from Javon Jackson. There's a pickoff attempt at first base, and Cruz is back easily. Beautiful sunny day here in Plattsburgh, New York. Out in the Ruger Woods behind the field house at Plattsburgh State University. If you're anywhere in the area, there's no better place to be than right here. Here's the pitch on the way. Runner is not going. He faked, and the pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yordani Selva. Waiting on deck, the cleanup hitter, Brian Brademan. Cruz on first base faked that last time, but he hasn't. Well, he extends his lead ever so slightly now. The left-hander Picucci slides up. There goes the runner. Swinging a fly ball to left field. This is sending Davis back, but he's got room to make the catch. And Cruz has to hustle back to first base. There are 2 down. Well, Selva got Cruz Cruz got doubled off first base. So the inning is over. I was adjusting my scorecard, so I'm just going to look at the replay to see what happened on that again. It was a fly ball to left field. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's right. That's what happened. So Cruz passed second base, and then as he was on his way back, he came back. He did not touch the base, and they appealed, and he is out. So that's a double play. So inning is over. We will go to the second inning. Surge leading the Redbirds by a score of 2-0. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Surge here in the top of the second inning. They have a 2-0 lead. Tony Bucharest, Sebastian Diaz, and then the top of the order, Edgar LeBron. As the right-hander Danny Roser deals, and he misses inside, ball 1. Roser gave up 2 hits and 2 walks and 2 runs in the first inning. But it could have been much worse. And the pitch to Tony Bucharest is hit in the air to left center field. Cruz over and back into the alleyway, makes the one-handed catch. And that's the first out here in the second inning. That will bring up Sebastian Diaz. Diaz, shortstop today.
Number 5, Sebastian Diaz.
Yeah, he's from Miami. And he has been quoted as saying his favorite actor is Denzel Washington. Not a bad choice, I would say. He's a Miami Marlins fan. That also makes sense. And the pitch on the way, that one is a strike. Fastball with the letters from Danny Roser. Diaz is hitting 400 for the Surge. That is 10 for 50. Excuse me, 20 for 50. And that's a curve, and that one was in there for a strike, I believe. Yes, it was, 0-2. Diaz has a home run and 2 doubles among his 20 hits, 4 walks. He's behind no balls and 2 strikes here, and the curve is inside. Some kind of off-speed pitch, at least, from Danny Roser. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Roser, who is from Suffern, New York, played baseball here at Plattsburgh State, 2011 grad. And he majored in education. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul. That was a hanging curveball right in Diaz's wheelhouse, and he just got a piece, fell back to the screen. One ball, 2 strikes to Diaz. And the pitch. Hit in the air to shallow right center field, and that ball's going to drop in front of Ronald Jackson. Kicks away from him for a moment, but he is able to recover. The throw, meanwhile, to the infield gets past the shortstop, Martinez, but no advance. Diaz is at first base. He's got a single out of that one. That is the 3rd hit for the Surge against Danny Roser. Wasn't hit all that hard, but a big outfield. Jackson, I think his first step was maybe a split second too late. By the time he ran in, he had to play it off of a hop, and he almost kicked it away with his chest. So now back to the top of the order, Edgar LeBron. LeBron tripled to deep left field his first time and then scored. That ignited the 2-run rally. And the pitch, swing and a miss late on a fastball. And the pitch on the way. Hit in the air to right field. This is playable for Jackson. Right in his tracks. Makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
Number 7, Jake Walters.
That'll bring up Jake Walters. Walters walked and scored his first time. 2 down. And the runner at first taking the lead. The pitch is on the corner at the knees for a strike. Surge with 2 runs on 2 hits in the first inning. And the pitch from Roser, that one high. 1-1. Jake Walters, originally from St. Peters, Missouri, has that pitch high and count 2 balls and a strike. Spent a couple seasons playing at St. Louis Community College before he transferred to Quincy University. And the 2-1 pitch. That is inside, ball 3, 3-1. There were 2 walks issued by Roser in the first inning. He was very wild to the first 3 hitters or so. And And since then, he's found the strike zone, and the Surge have been very aggressive, swinging early in the count. But not this time, as Walters takes ball 4. He has walked for the second time. And now there are runners on first and second with 2 down. That'll bring the number 3 hitter, Mike Davis. Davis also walked. Native of Peabody, Massachusetts, coming up to the plate. Unless we're going to have... Well, Pascual Santiago is going to put a pinch runner in for Sebastian Diaz. So we'll see who's going to come in. Wonder if Diaz might have hurt himself. The Surge scoring 2 runs in the first inning, and they have 2 on and 2 out here, and it looks like it's going to be Calvin Graves coming in to pinch run for Sebastian Diaz. Well, Diaz taken out of the game. He singled. Remember, Diaz also made that throwing error in the first inning.
Your attention, please. Now pinch running, Calvin Graves.
So Graves is now the runner at second base. And you have Jake Walters at first. There are 2 outs. The hitter, Mike Davis, he walked his first time and was stranded at second base. Danny Roser with a long hold, and now the pitch is fouled away. A very good swing by Mike Davis. And he's up there looking for that first pitch fastball to drive. One strike to him. Top of the second inning, Surge 2, Redbirds nothing. These 2 teams are going to play 8 games in 6 days. There's a strike, a fastball in the inside corner, and Danny Roser now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Mike Davis at the plate attended Salem State, and the pitch in the dirt, blocked by Salva, no advance, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davis from Salem State was a criminal justice major. And his favorite team, of course, the Boston Red Sox, being from Massachusetts. Threw 2 no-hitters in high school. And he looks at a curve. That one is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans still filing into the ballpark here at Chip Cummings Field on a beautiful summer August afternoon here in Plattsburgh. Check swing on a high fastball. They're going to appeal. He did not go around, so the count now full 3-2. Second base umpire Willie Lopez signaling that he did not go around on the check swing. So now the runners will be off with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. So they can go at the crack of the bat. Roser is set, and here's the pitch to Davis. It's popped up right side, shallow right field. Arroyo and Jackson. Jackson now finding it, and he makes the catch. So no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning. The Old Orchard Beach Surge 2 and the Plattsburgh Redbirds nothing. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. So we go to the bottom of the second inning, and it's going to be 4, 5, and 6 for Plattsburgh against Matt Picucci, who retired the side in order thanks to that double play. And Brian Brademan, Andres Arroyo, and DeAndre Van Slyke will step up to the plate. Brian Brademan comes in hitting at 246, and the first pitch he swings and fouls it away, strike one. He is 14 hits and 57 at-bats in 26 games. 8 runs batted in, 3 doubles among his hits. And the 27-year-old stands in, and the pitch from Picucci is up high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Brademan is from Boerne, Texas. Also played in the Pecos League in 2014 for the Las Vegas Train Robbers. That's a fly ball to center field, easily playable for Martinez, and he one-hands it. There's 1 down. That'll bring up Andres Arroyo. Arroyo, who's from Meridian, Idaho.
Arroyo.
24-year-old. He's going to turn 25 in November of this year. He started the season with the Puerto Rico Islanders and was traded to Plattsburgh midway through. And he's up with 1 out, nobody on base. He's only played in 4 games for Plattsburgh so far, 2 for 15 first pitch. And the pitch is a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Matt Picucci on the mound, one of the league's leading pitchers, and he deals inside 2-0 to Arroyo. One out, nobody on base. Infield back straight away, same with the outfield. And Picucci's pitch is blasted deep and foul, strike 1. Well, Arroyo way out in front of that pitch. Two and one, here it comes. That's low. Looked like an off-speed pitch. And Arroyo lays off of it. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Got some young Yankees fans running around here at the ballpark. His Yankees t-shirt, but with a Redbirds hat. Just the way we like it around here. 3 and 1. Pitch is swung on and missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got some folks out on the hill. They brought their lawn chairs and blankets and have a little picnic. Just a great vibe here in the ballpark at Chip Cummings Field. And the pitch hit on the ground, down the third baseline, foul. Count still full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's 1 out in the inning, 2-0 Surge leading. They got both of their runs in the first inning, and it looked like it was going to be a very short outing for Danny Roser, but he was able to recover. Big curve, and it's called strike 3. That's the first one of those we've seen from Picucci, and he was saving it, and he used it right at the right time. Let's look at this on the replay. Look at the movement on this pitch from Matt Picucci. Big curveball, and Arroyo thought he was going to get the walk. Instead, he has to walk to the dugout. So 2 down, and now DeAndre Van Slyke will step up to the plate. Van Slyke, who is from Vaughan, Washington, is going to come up here, and he's hitting .271. He's got a home run, 4 doubles, 13 hits and 48 at-bats for Van Slyke. And the pitch, fastball missed the inside corner, 1 ball, no strikes. DeAndre Van Slyke attended St. Andrews University in North Carolina. He's also a Phillies fan. It's kind of interesting being from Washington and then going to school in North Carolina and being a Phillies fan. There's a foul ball off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Also, once was quoted as saying his favorite athlete was Josh Hamilton. Ben Slyke just turned 24 a couple of weeks ago. He's the designated hitter in today's game. He's got a 1-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Big curve, and there's that strike on the outside corner. So Picucci now has broken that pitch out twice in this ball game. We're just in the bottom of the second. So far, he's retired the side in order. 1-2 pitch. Fastball is high and outside. That time, Picucci really tried to reach back for a little bit extra and fell off to the third base side from the mound. Ball skipped off the glove of the catcher, Simpson. So the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 and 2, excuse me. And an off-speed pitch, he fouled it back. Van Slyke just able to get a piece and fouled it off his foot. Count still 1 and 2. And Matt Picucci's pitch on the way. Check swing on a breaking ball in the dirt. It was blocked by Simpson, and they appeal. He did not go around, so now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Tarek Elabor. If Van Slyke can extend the inning. So far, Plattsburgh's only base runner came via the error from Sebastian Diaz. That was leading off the bottom of the first inning, but Christian Nazario Cruz, who reached on the error, was erased on a double play. The pitch hit on the ground to the new shortstop. That's Edgar LeBron. His throw to first, a little high, but a nice stretch by Putkonen, and he comes down with the ball. And the inning is over. 1, 2, 3. Go the Plattsburgh Redbirds. We go to the 3rd inning here in Plattsburgh. Old Orchard Beach Surge 2, the Plattsburgh Redbirds nothing. You are watching Empire Pro League Baseball.
Kevin Putkonen.
We move to the top of the 3rd inning. Surge 2, Redbirds nothing. Kevin Putkonen, the number 4 hitter, will step up. After that, Matt Martinez and Javon Jackson against Danny Roser, who allowed 2 runs in the 1st inning. And the first pitch is hit in the air to center field. Nazario Cruz, about 7-8 steps to his right, makes the catch. And 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what Roser needed. He had to labor extensively in the 1st inning, and he pitched around to hitting a walk in the 2nd inning. And now he retires Pitconen, the cleanup hitter, on one pitch to start the third. So now Matt Martinez, who popped out to the catcher his first time, will come to the plate. These teams meeting for the 9th time this year. And this is a little breaking ball inside, ball one. Danny Roser has been working exclusively from the stretch since the beginning of the ball game. 1-0 the count and the pitch. That's a curve, and he missed. 2-0. Martinez came up with the bases loaded and nobody out, and popped out without allowing a run score. Fouled out to the catcher. He's got a 2-0 count here. And now he's got a 3-0 count as this one is down and away. He will be taking here, I presume. And there's a strike. That looked like a little cut fastball. It wasn't just a BP fastball down the middle. It had a little bit of a wrinkle in it. 3-1 the count. And the next pitch, fouled away, and now Roser's come back to make it full, 3-2. Full count, 1 out, nobody on base. 2-0 Surge, top of the third. And he walked him. Tried an off-speed pitch down and away. Martinez started to chase and was able to hold up. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 walks for Roser. And Javon Jackson, who drove home a run with a sac fly his first time, will come up to the plate. So you have the runner at first base, Matt Martinez. And the pitch to Jackson, hit on the ground to the hole. That's a base hit into left field. Martinez rounds, and he's going to go to third. Here's the throw. It is high. And taking second base on the throw, alertly, is Javon Jackson. So that'll be a base hit. And then Jackson goes to third on the throw. Alert base running, though, as the throw from Tarek Elabor went to third base on the fly, went over the cutoff man, and that allows Jackson to take second base. You could see he was watching the throw all the way as he rounded first. And so now runners on second and third, and the Redbirds will bring the infield in to try to cut the run off at the plate. Martinez is on third. Jackson is at second, and now James Simpson, the catcher, he struck out his first time. He comes up to the plate. There's 1 out in the inning. Surge with a chance to double their lead. And the pitch to Simpson. That's outside, ball 1. Runners leading second and third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike. If you can get Simpson to strike out like he did the first time, that would have obviously allow him to possibly escape the jam without letting a run to come in, but we shall see. And a good curve drops in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Simpson was not looking for that. And now, well, Roser, 1 quality pitch away from at least allowing his infield to back up and play at normal depth. Of course, you know, Simpson wants to get that run in. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Salva. He throws to first, and it's in time, and the runners have to stay put. Now that was well executed pitching by the right-hander Danny Roser. He got Simpson in a good count and got him to chase that breaking ball down and away. And so there are 2 down. The infielders can back up. And it will take a 2-out hit to score a run as Tony Becaris steps up to the plate. Becaris flied out to center field his first time.
Tony Becaris.
native of Iowa, Runnels, Iowa. And the pitch is high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Bacaris, like a lot of the players here, took part in the Puerto Rico Instructional Baseball League, which is another league similar to Empire League. That's goal is to get players signed into higher leagues. And there's a fly ball to center field, and this should do it. And it does. Cruz makes the catch, and Danny Roser strands the runners at second and third. So no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base, as the Surge have left 2 on base in each of the first 3. But they only lead by a score of 2-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. This is Empire Pro League Baseball, live from Plattsburgh, New York.
Number 11.
We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in Plattsburgh. The Redbirds and the Surge doing battle. And the Old Orchard Beach Surge leading by a score of 2-0. It will be 7-8-9 in the order for Plattsburgh against Matt Picucci. Picucci has struck out 1 and allowed only 1 base runner. That was via an error. So he has faced the minimum through 2. And the first batter he faces is Tarek El Abour. El Abour is from Los Angeles, California. And he was the Rookie of the Year last year, and he looks at a pitch inside for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. And he has a very interesting story. He is as far as we know, the first ever professional autistic baseball player. And he had a great season last year. He's batting .254 this year. And the 1-0 pitch on the way, that one is high. 2 balls and no strikes. El Abour, I mentioned hitting .254. That's 17 hits and 67 at-bats. He's got 3 doubles. He's got a slightly open stance. Without batting gloves, here's the 2-0. Swing and a foul off to the right. 2 balls and 1 strike. El Abour batted .323 last year and led almost all the categories for rookies. And so he was with Sullivan last year, this year with Plattsburgh. Here's the pitch. And a good curve, hits the outside corner, 2-2 the count. After Alibor, it will be Manny Sanchez and Ronald Jackson, 7-8-9 in the order. And the 2-2 pitch. Curveball got him swinging. That one was down, and Alibor swinging over the top of it. Second strikeout for Matt Picucci. That adds to his league-leading total of 35. Now he's got 37, so that will bring up Manny Sanchez. Sanchez from Puerto Rico, just turned 25 about a month and a half ago.
Manny Sanchez.
And lefty against lefty, Picucci deals a strike on the first pitch. That wasn't the big curveball, but it had some kind of wrinkle in it that went to the left. And he dropped it right in on the inside corner. 1 strike to count to Manny Sanchez. And Picucci, the left-hander, kicks, deals. There's the big curveball, but he missed inside, 1-1. Plattsburgh without a hit so far. There are 4 hits in the ball game, all of them by the Surge. Surge have stranded 6 base runners so far in the first 3 innings, in addition to the 2 they scored. The pitch, little chopper to left side, and it is fouled on the third baseline. Sanchez was jammed on that pitch. That looked like a fastball that was running in, maybe a 2-seamer running in on his hands, and he couldn't get the barrel of the bat through the zone quick enough. So the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the third inning, the Surge scored their 2 runs in the top of the first, and it looked like it was going to be a lot more than that. 1-2, high, 2-2. But Danny Roser was able to wiggle out of the jam. He had bases loaded and nobody out, gave up an RBI single and then a sac fly, but then nothing further. Stranded 2 in the second and 2 in the third. There's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Manny Sanchez. Off the plate, just barely away, and now the count full, 3-2. That is the second 3-ball count that Picucci has had. He had a 3-2 count on Andres Arroyo and struck him out with that curveball back in the second inning. And now the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That time a fastball. And down goes Manny Sanchez. Look at this one on the replay. Looked like he just challenged him right down the heart of the plate. And Sanchez was late. So that is the 3rd strikeout for Mr. Picucci, and Ronald Jackson steps up to the plate now. Jackson is a native Texan. And he's hitting 125. He's only got 8 hits and 48 at-bats, and so he will step up there, try to reverse that. And he shows bunt, and he drags it up the first baseline, foul. That pitch was running in on his hands, and it looked like it was almost going to hit him. But instead of pulling the bat back, he tried to go after it. Jackson wearing that shin guard on his right shin. He's got the high sock look going today. The entire left side of the Surge field has the high sock look going. That's the shortstop, LeBron, Baccaris at third, and then Mike Davis in left field. And the 0-1 pitch. There's a curve, strike 2. That's a tough pitch for a lefty to stand in there for, as Picucci really comes over the top. No balls and 2 strikes. There's a little tapper up the first baseline. This one is hugging the line, but it rolls eventually foul. And the count's still 0-2. Well, the Redbirds have hit exactly 2 balls out of the infield so far. That was 1 fly ball from Yordani Salva and another by Brian Brademan. Other than that, Matt Picucci has had them off balance. And he's way out in front of Ronald Jackson. No balls and 2 strikes. Fastball a little bit low. You can see Simpson holding it there for a long time, trying to frame it for Edgar Garcia, the home plate umpire. But count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball, a little floater to shallow right center field. That's a base hit. Jackson with the Redbirds' first base hit of the afternoon, and he's at first with 2 outs. Well, he got a pitch that he was able to just wait on, and he didn't try to do too much, and he was able to hang in there against that breaking ball. Nice short stroke, and he just lofted it over the second baseman Walters and into shallow right center field. So the top of the order now for the Redbirds, as they have Ronald Jackson on first base. Jackson, by the way, is 3 out of 4 with stolen base attempts. And now the top of the order, Christian Nazario Cruz. And he looks at a ball. Cruz is from New York. Attended SUNY Canton. And the pitch. That one missed. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball looked like Pacucci was trying to hit the inside corner. Just barely missed. Runner on first base, Jackson, so far just with a short lead. If the count got to 2 strikes, maybe he would go, but 2-0, probably not. And the pitch outside, 3-0. That time Pacucci using the slide step motion to try to speed up his delivery to the plate. And he missed. And so now Plattsburgh trying to get a couple men aboard for Josh Martinez. 3-0 on Cruz, the pitch. There's a strike, fastball, 3-1. Cruz was taking all the way, of course. Christian Nazario Cruz reached on an error his first time, then he was doubled off on the fly ball when he failed to retouch second, going back to first base. 3-1 the count to him. The pitch, strike 2. This one on the inside corner, and now the runner will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ronald Jackson will be off from first base. And a check on him at first base. In other action in the Empire League, Puerto Rico Islanders leading the Sullivan Explorers 4-0. That game is in the 9th inning. And there goes the runner. The pitch is swung on and popped up to shallow left field. Mike Davis is trotting in a couple of steps, and he puts it away for the final out of the inning. So the 2-out base hit breaks the string of 8 set down in a row, but Plattsburgh can get nothing with it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the 4th inning here at Chip Cummings Field. The Old Orchard Beach Surge 2 and the Plattsburgh Redbirds nothing. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. Welcome to the top of the fourth inning. The Surge leading the Redbirds by a score of 2-0. And Calvin Graves, who came in as a pinch runner for Sebastian Diaz, is going to step up to the plate and look like he was swatting flies away or something. 9-1-2. So it'll be Graves, LeBron, and Jake Walters against Danny Roser, who's somewhere in the mid-50s of a pitch count. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Calvin Graves, this is his first at bat. And he is hitting at 226, 7 for 31 on the season. And he swings and fouls it away. The count 0-2. Graves was actually drafted by the Chicago Cubs back in 2014 in the 27th round from Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire. He is from Roslindale, Massachusetts. Attended West Roxbury High School, and he lifts the fly ball to center field. Nazario Cruz is there to put it away. There's one down. And that will bring up the top of the order, Edgar LeBron. LeBron started the ball game by tripling to deep left field. And he came around to score the first of the two Surge runs. And then in his second at bat, just an inning later, he flied to right field. So he's 1 for 2. And Danny Roser deals. There's a swing and a line drive right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And over to cut it off is Cruz. He whirls and fires into second base, and it's going to be a stand-up double for LeBron. He's 2 for 3. Well, he's halfway to a cycle with the triple and the double. And so there's one away. Let's look at this one on the replay. He was up there swinging at the first pitch. Got one that he could really take to the gap in right center field. Good job by Cruz to hustle over and plug the gap. That ball gets past him. LeBron could run for a while. So he's on second base. There's one out in the inning, and the next hitter, Jake Walters. Walters has walked twice, scored one of those times. Walters is one of the league leading hitters. Has not had an at-bat yet, and he swings and hits one foul on the ground past the third base coach. Strike one to Walters. That's the first pitch he's seen in the strike zone that he could really take a hack at. He saw one strike on 3-0 his last time. Hitting at .330 on the year. He's got 3 home runs, 11 doubles, 16 walks. 33 for 100 exactly. And the pitch hit in the air to center field. Cruz is on his horse. He's over into right center, backs up, makes the catch. Runners tagging from second base and will advance easily to third. So that's a fly out for Walters. LeBron goes to third on the play. And there are 2 down.
Mike Davis.
And that will bring up Mike Davis, the left fielder. Davis has walked and flied out. 2-0 Surge leading the Redbirds. Top of the fourth inning here in Plattsburgh. Nice relaxed atmosphere in the ballpark. Good day for a picnic. Now there's some clouds overhead. There's a foul ball on a first pitch from Roser, and the count 0-1 to Davis. Now Danny Roser looked a little rusty at the beginning of the game, but he's been able to limit damage, pitch to contact. There's the 0-1 pitch. And a curveball catches the outside corner, 0-2. Good pitch from Roser. And that one big pitch that he threw last inning was the strikeout of James Simpson with runners on second and third and only one out. That's, at this point of the game, one of the biggest pitches Roser has thrown. He's 0-2 here. And a swing and a miss, and the ball blocked by Salva, and he tags out Mike Davis for the third out of the inning. So Danny Roser settling down. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Old Orchard Beach Surge 2 and the Plattsburgh Redbirds nothing. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. Welcome back to Plattsburgh Redbirds baseball here on the Empire Pro League YouTube channel. My name is Tim Collins. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast, as it's going to be the bottom of the fourth inning, 2, 3, and 4. Josh Martinez, Yordani Selva, and Brian Brademan against Matt Picucci, who has been very good, and he starts a curveball. A lot of movement, but he missed 1 ball and no strikes. Picucci has struck out 3. Not walked a batter. He's allowed just a single. There was 1 other base runner that reached via an error. And the Surge lead this ballgame 2-0. The pitch, hard hit, right side, base hit past the second baseman, Walters. As he was moving to his left, he tried to sort of scoop it on a short hop to his gloved side, and he couldn't get leather on it, so Martinez is on first base with a single. That's the second base hit for the Redbirds. Let's look at that play. I think it was a pitch away, and Martinez just took it that way past Walters. And now Yordani Selva will step up to the plate. Now, Picucci really cruised through the first 2 innings, and then he allowed the single with 2 outs last inning. Now a leadoff base runner. That's the first time Plattsburgh has had a runner on to lead off an inning. As Yordani Selva, 0 for 1, takes a ball down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. The Surge with 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. The Redbirds, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Bottom of the fourth inning, this ball game about an hour and 15 minutes old. Runner leading off first base, and the pitch popped up right side. This one is blowing over. It's going to be in foul territory. Can anybody get there? No. Calvin Graves was sprinting for all he was worth over towards the corner, but he was about 20 feet short, so that ball lands, and he picks it up, fires it back in. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Yordani Selva. Matt Picucci is a former Sonoma Stomper. In 2016, there's a throw to first base, and Josh Martinez is back. In 2016, Picucci pitched 8 games for the Stompers, 17 1/3 innings pitched, a 3.12 ERA. Sonoma Stompers you may be familiar with as the subject of a new book. There's a pitch tapped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Stompers were taken over by a couple of baseball writers and sabermetric experiment wanna-doers, I guess you could call them. Sam Miller and Ben Lindbergh. And they did it as an experiment to see what they could do by bringing sabermetrics, including pitch effects and, just cataloging everything in the Pacific Association. This is a ground ball back to the mound. Nice play by Picucci. However, his throw pulled. No, there's nobody covering second base. So everybody's safe. As the second baseman, Walters, I think was expecting the throw to go to LeBron, and nobody was there. And so no base hit on the play. That's a fielder's choice. But it does not result in an out. And now Plattsburgh really with an opportunity. They have the first 2 on. Martinez is at second. Selva is at first, and that's the tying runs. Nobody out in the inning. And the cleanup hitter, Brian Brademan, at the plate. Brademan fly to center field his first time. And the pitch to him is inside. You can see the catcher, Simpson, was actually setting up outside. That often will make it more difficult to get the call, even if the pitch is over the plate. And so the count 1 ball and no strikes. First and second, nobody out. Picucci checks the runners a couple times and deals. That's a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. I think the difference there, that time Simpson was setting up inside. Picucci hit the glove. Martinez is at second. Selva is at first, not being held on. And a big chopper towards short, and it gets under the glove of LeBron into the outfield. Around third, Martinez, he will score. Heading to third is Selva. And now the throw to the infield gets past the second baseman, Walters. And Brademan takes second base. It is 2-1 as the Redbirds are on the board. So Brademan gets a base hit and a run batted in. Salva goes to third on the play, and then Brademan would take second base on an error, I would presume. And it's an error on the shortstop. Let's look at that one on the replay, as the next hitter is going to be Andres Arroyo. It was a chopper towards deep short. Tough play for the shortstop, LeBron, and he also had the runner in front of him. And you see that scored one run, and the throw getting past the shortstop as it came in from the outfield, and that's what allowed Brademan to take second base. So it's 2-1, and now the infield will come in as there's nobody out. And Andres Arroyo, the hitter, looks at a curve, and it's ball one inside. So Bakuchi now second time through the order, and it's a little bit different story this time. Runners on second and third, and nobody out. The infield is playing in. Bakuchi is working from the stretch. Andres Arroyo struck out looking his first time. The pitch low, good block by Simpson. Couldn't find it for a moment, but it was right at his feet. So the count 2 balls, no strikes. So it's 2-1 Surge leading the Redbirds here, as their offensive has come to life. And now Pascual Santiago is coming out to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher, Matt Bakuchi. Santiago is walking very slowly. There's no activity in the bullpen, however. And Pascual Santiago is a very upbeat guy, and he's calling his entire infield into the mound to have a discussion. This is going to be related to, well, it's probably just some sort of a pep talk. A couple of lackadaisical throws coming in from the outfield, and Santiago just wants to make sure everybody's on their feet. And so he returns to the dugout, does Santiago. And so Bakuchi is ready to go. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Andres Arroyo. Runners on second and third. The pitch, a fly ball to right center field. This should definitely get a run in. It's going to be caught in center field by Martinez. Both runners tagged. The throw comes to short. And this ball game is tied at 2 on a sac fly off the bat of Andres Arroyo. Salva scores. Brademan goes to third. And that's the first out of the inning. So Andres Arroyo gets a run batted in, so he gets some revenge for that last at bat when he got called out on strikes. And now DeAndre Van Slyke, who grounded to short his first time. The infield is still in. Plattsburgh trying to take the lead here. They have the runner at third. The go-ahead run is at third. That's Brian Brademan. And the pitch, swinging a foul. One strike to Van Slyke, who was chasing that very first pitch, DeAndre. So Matt Bakuchi trying to escape without further damage. Plattsburgh has tied the score here. They have a runner at third base. That's Brian Brademan. Foul to the screen on Van Slyke, and he had a good cut at that one. No balls and 2 strikes. Bakuchi taking a long time to get the sign from this catcher, James Simpson. Now he's got one. And here it comes. Slapped foul off to the right. That one might land in the car park. Well, if you don't hear a smash, then I guess everything's okay. Still 0-2. DeAndre Van Slyke, a very defensive swing. Looking to hit behind the ball on that one. The outfield is straight away. The infield is in. There is 1 out. Runner at third base is Brian Brademan. Curveball hit on the ground, picked by LeBron. That was a tough play, and he throws to first base in time and holds the runner. And, yeah, you might have heard Eddie Gonzalez giving me some tips. LeBron is a utility outfielder, so he's not normally in the shortstop position, and he's had a little bit of trouble this inning. But that one right there was a nice play. He had to range to his left and pick a tough hop. And then he had to check the runner, and he was able to do so. So now, 2 down. Infield can back up, and Tarek Elabor will step up. Elabor struck out his first time. And here's the pitch. Inside, and it goes through the catcher Simpson to the screen. And Brian Bradman comes home to score, and Plattsburgh leads 3-2. Well, look at that one on the replay. And it looked like an off-speed pitch that was down in the dirt and got through. So it's going to be called a pass ball. And Plattsburgh leads by a score of 3-2, and the pitch to Elabor is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So now Elabor doesn't need to get the 2-out hit. He just wants to start a new rally. 2-0 from Picucci, the pitch. Hit on the ground towards short. LeBron, gloves, takes his time and throws to first. Got him by a step. So the inning is over, but Plattsburgh gets 3 runs. And only 2 of those are earned, I believe. On 2 hits, 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and nobody left on base. So we will go to the top of the 5th inning. The Old Orchard Beach Surge and the Plattsburgh Redbirds doing battle. Plattsburgh leading by a score of 3-2. This is Umpire Pro League Baseball. We move to the top of the 5th inning as Plattsburgh has rallied to take a 3-2 lead over the Surge. And for the Redbirds, for the Surge, it's going to be the middle of their order, 4, 5, and 6. Kevin Putkonen, Matt Martinez, and Javon Jackson. And Putkonen looks at the first pitch inside for a ball. So Danny Roser, who started off very shakily in the first inning, has settled down and managed to eke his way through 4 innings. And he misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. He has struck out 3. He's walked 1, 2, 3. He's also walked 3. He's given up the 2 runs on 5 hits. And now he's behind 3-0 on the cleanup hitter, Kevin Putkonen. Putkonen is 1 for 2. He singled to drive home a run in the first inning, and then he flied out. Prior to this at-bat, he had seen exactly 2 pitches. There's the 3-0. And that's ball 4. Now the 4th walk. Well, let's see. Let me count. Let me check my handwriting. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th walk issued by Danny Roser. And there is some activity. It looks like some stirring around at the very least in the Redbirds bullpen. There's a bunch of people standing up, walking around. And that will bring up Matt Martinez. Martinez popped to the catcher his first time, and then he walked. And he squares to bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is a ball. And he might very well do that again, at least until Roser throws a strike. And a quick mound visit. As Roser has thrown 5 consecutive pitches out of the zone right now. As Joe Winklesass came hustling out of the dugout to give some words of encouragement and actually some smiles all around. Winklesass came out, obviously said something to try to loosen up his pitcher, Danny Roser, as he smiled and patted him on the cheek, and then Roser turned to Yordani Salva and did the same thing. The three had a little bit of a laugh out there on the mound, so Winklesass trying to loosen him up. 1 ball, no strikes, and this one is high again. 2 balls and no strikes. Martinez was showing bunt again. There's nobody out. We are in the 5th inning, 3-2, Plattsburgh leading Old Orchard Beach. And the pitch. That's a fastball that hits the outside corner. 2-1. That time Roser really let it fly. Runner on first base is Kevin Putkonen. And the pitch bunted foul behind the plate. And so the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's curious. So they actually were bunting. That's the 3rd time in this at-bat that Martinez showed bunt. And Roser walked Putkonen on 4 consecutive and fell behind Martinez. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Oh, that little slider away from Martinez, and that is now strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4 for Mr. Roser. There's 1 away, and now Javon Jackson, the designated hitter, will step up. Jackson drove home a run with a sac fly, and then he singled and was stranded at second base in the 3rd, so he's officially 1 for 1. 1 out, infield back, looking for 2. And the pitch to Jackson. That one way inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Yordani Salva, setting up outside, had to reach way back to the inside part of the plate to stab that one. Roser has been falling behind. He's been walking the tightrope, but he's so far minimized the damage. 1-0 the count. Pitch. A little breaking ball that is high. 2-0. The Surge scored 2 in the 1st, Plattsburgh with 3 in the 4th, and this one is inside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes on Javon Jackson. James Simpson waiting on deck, but Simpson has struck out twice. He would like to change that. Danny Roser would like to get a ground ball, but he's behind 3 balls and no strikes. And that's too high, ball 4. That's the 2nd walk in the inning. That is the 6th walk in the game for Roser, and now a little conference on the mound between Brian Brademan. And now there is some activity in the Redbirds bullpen for sure, as Damien Boyne, the submarining right-hander, is warming up down there. Roser has given 3 scoreless innings out of his 4, but he's in danger again. He's stranded base runners in every inning. 2 on right now for the Surge, and the hitter is James Simpson, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And there's that curve, and strike 1 from Danny Roser. He seems to be able to find that curveball when Simpson comes up to the plate. Got him the first time and the second time. The second one was in the dirt, and Simpson chased it. Here's the 0-1. This ball hit in the air to left center field, and deep long run for Cruz and Elabor. And Cruz, oh, they've collided. And it looks like it's Elabor who pops up and grabs the ball. And one run is going to score. And that's an RBI double for James Simpson. And now both gentlemen are up and walking in the outfield. Joe Winklesass is jogging out to check on his outfielders. Boy, that was... You could see that coming, and that's one of those things where you just hold your breath. You do not want to see a direct collision in the outfield. That ball was hit very well by Simpson. And you see Elabor and Cruz colliding in deep left center field. Well, both guys seem to be okay, but this ball game is tied at 3. And runners on second and third, an RBI double for Simpson, as Joe Winklesass now is going to the mound, and that's going to be a pitching change. That's the second trip to the mound. And so Danny Roser, who had not pitched all year, comes in and gives his team 4 1/3 innings. He's responsible for the runners on second and third. And we're going to have a pitching change here in the 5th inning. The score, the Surge 3, the Redbirds 3. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. So Damian Boyan is the new pitcher. He is from Boca Raton, Florida. He is going to turn 23 in a couple of weeks on August the 25th. And he is a submarining right-hand pitcher listed at 6'1", 185 pounds. He has pitched in 16 games to a 2.70 ERA, 23 1/3 innings pitched, 13 hits, 7 earned runs, 15 walks, however, and 17 strikeouts. So he's coming in now with runners on second and third and only 1 out. So the book is not yet closed on Danny Roser, who went 4 1/3. He's responsible for the 2 base runners, Jackson and Simpson, and the hitter now is Tony Becaris. Becaris 0 for 2, and the first pitch, broken bat, 1 hopper to the shortstop, Martinez, who throws to first and holds the runners. So 1 pitch, 1 piece of lumber, and 2 outs. That was a good pitch, a good play by the shortstop, Josh Martinez. He fielded that ball about chest high, looked at both runners, and made the throw across the diamond. So 2 down, and Calvin Graves will come up to the plate. Graves relieved Sebastian Diaz on the base paths in the 2nd inning. Graves has had 1 at bat. He flied out. So the ball game still tied at 3, top of the 5th inning, 2 outs. Surge with runners on second and third. Javon Jackson is at third. James Simpson is at second. And the pitch. Fastball is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Damian Boyun really has that submarine delivery a la Chad Bradford. The pitch, that one is high. 2-0. Well, he threw 1 pitch and retired Tony Bucharest without allowing a run to score. But now he's 2-0 on the former Cub farmhand, Calvin Graves. And the pitch. Hit on the ground up the middle into center field for a base hit. In to score is Jackson. Simpson being waved around. Here's the throw to the plate, and it hits the mound, and both runs score. And Graves takes second base, and the Surge take a 5-3 lead. A 2-run single hit very hard off the bat of Calvin Graves. So give him 2 runs batted in. And the Surge take the lead 5-3. Look at the pitch from Boyun. Right down the middle of the plate, and Graves hit it between the wickets. Hit it right up the middle between the legs of Damian Boyun into center field, and with 2 outs, both runners, of course, can run at the crack of the bat, and they scored easily. So now Graves is at second, the top of the order, Edgar LeBron. And he looks at a strike on the inside corner. Oh, 0-1 on LeBron. And a ground ball to the right side. That's a base hit. Graves being waved around third. And he is going to score as the ball is juggled by Jackson. And now the throw to second base. LeBron is safe. As the shortstop, Josh Martinez, was running towards first base and couldn't reach back to get the tag. So it is now 6-3 Surge. Edgar LeBron with an RBI single, and he takes second on an E9. As Walters steps to the plate, let's look at this one on the replay. Good piece of hitting by LeBron. There was a huge hole on the right side. You see the second baseman shading him up the middle, and he just parked that ground ball right through. And so a runner at second base. 3 runs are in. 2 of them are charged to the starter, Danny Roser, and now the book is closed on him. So he has pitched 4 1/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And the hitter now, Jake Walters. Walters, the 8th man to bat in the inning. Slightly open stance. And the pitch from Boyun. That's a strike, very top of the zone on the outside corner, 0-1. Walters today has walked twice, scored a run, and flied out. Well, Boyun got Tony Bucharest on the first pitch he threw, and it looked like Plattsburgh might get out of the inning, but then consecutive singles have plated 3 runs, and the 1-strike pitch popped up off the fists off to the right. The first baseman, Sanchez, makes the catch to the right of the foul line, and the inning is over. But the Surge send 8 men to the plate, and they score 3 times, thanks to, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hits, 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error. There were 2 errors. There was 1 error. How many errors were there? There was 1 error. And 1 man left on base. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Old Orchard beat Surge 6. Scored 4 runs that inning, excuse me. And Plattsburgh Redbirds 3. Welcome back to Chip Cummings Field here in Plattsburgh, where the Old Orchard Beach Surge scored 4 times in the 5th inning to take a 6-3 lead. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and for the Plattsburgh Redbirds, it'll be 8-9-1. Manny Sanchez, Ronald Jackson, and Christian Nazario Cruz against the left-hander Matt Picucci, who has allowed 3 runs on 3 hits. First ball grounded to the right side, fielded by Pitkonen, and Picucci just barely got there in time to get the out at first base. He was a little bit slow off the mound to cover first, but they managed to get the out, and Sanchez is down 3-1 on the putout. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. You see Picucci, well, he did take off as quickly as he could. He just got there only an eyelash before Sanchez, who was hustling down the line. And so 1 pitch, 1 out. Ronald Jackson will step up now. Jackson got the Redbirds' first base hit. He singled with 2 outs in the 3rd. And the lefty Picucci has his sign from Simpson and kicks and deals. That ball ripped deep and foul. Strike 1. Ball landing over in the open field down the right side where there's a couple of cars parked, but did not hit any of them, fortunately. Well, earlier in the game, the wind was blowing from right to left. Right now, the flag is hanging. It's completely still. Here's the pitch and a bunt. Back to the mound, fielded by Picucci. He whirls and throws and gets his man at first base. There are 2 down. So Jackson, if he gets that ball a little bit more to the third base side, he's got a chance. But he bunted it right back to the pitcher, and that's out number 2. So now the top of the order, Christian Nazario Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the 1st, and then he flied out in the 3rd. Two down, nobody on. Picucci has faced the minimum in all except for 2 innings, except for 1 inning rather. First pitch is a strike. He faced the minimum in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then he gave up the 3 runs in the 4th. But now he's retired the first 2 here in the 5th. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, it's been base runners all over the place for the Surge. 0-1, popped up, and that is out of play. 0-2. The Surge scored 2 runs and left 2 on in the 1st. They left 2 on in the 2nd. They left 2 on in the 3rd. They left 1 on in the 4th, and then they scored 4 times and still left a base runner in the 5th. So it's been heavy traffic on the base paths for the Surge. There's the 0-2. Line shot, and that's a base hit into right center field. Cruz, hustling around first, takes a big turn, but he will hold on there with a 2-out single. Looked like for a moment Walters was going to lunge after that ball, and it was just out of his reach. So Cruz, a 2-out single. That is Plattsburgh's 4th base hit in the ball game. And now Josh Martinez will step up. Martinez is 1 for 2. He singled to start last inning, and that started the 3-run rally for the Redbirds as they took a very short-lived 3-2 lead in the ball game. Right now they trail 6-3 as the Surge plated 4 in their half of this inning, the 5th. And the pitch to Martinez is a strike over the outside corner. That one was fading away from Martinez, and it still nipped the edge. So the count, no balls and 1 strike. Christian Nazario Cruz being held on first base by Kevin Pitkonen. And the pitch, that's a curve, and that is strike 2. That was a good pitch from Josh Martinez. Oh, 1-2, here it comes. And a fastball, good spot, but it was away, and Martinez did not chase it. Cruz also was not going on the pitch. This one fouled away. That looked like that little slider or cutter that cuts in on the hands of Martinez, and he waited and waited, waited, and slapped it over the bullpen down the right field line. Count still 1 ball, 2 strikes. The inning began with Manny Sanchez grounding to first. It was a close play at first base. He almost beat Matt Picucci to the bag. And the pitch on the way, low, and a good block by Simpson. The count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield is playing straight away for Josh Martinez. Oh, this is a big outfield here. It is 350 down the lines, 402 to straightaway center field. And there's a liner, and it's caught by Matt Picucci. Look what I found. He stuck the glove out and was able to make the play. So that's the end of the inning. That was a rocket. Picucci's glove happened to be down by his right hip when he followed through with the pitch, and that's where the ball went. So you can't hit it much harder than that, but Martinez is turned away. Plattsburgh, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. And we go to the 6th inning here at Chip Cummings Field. The Old Orchard Beach Surge 6 and the Plattsburgh Redbirds 3. Welcome back to the top of the 6th inning here in Plattsburgh, and the Surge leading the Redbirds by a score of 6-3. They will send 3, 4, and 5, Mike Davis, Kevin Putkonen, and Matt Martinez against Damian Boyun. Boyun came on and got the first man he faced, but then he allowed a couple of base hits. There's a chopper foul, and so he allowed the 2 inherited runners to score, plus another one of his own, so he's responsible for one of the 6 runs up there. 1 strike to Mike Davis. And the right-hander's pitch is hit in the air to shallow right center field. Cruz was deep, a long run, and that ball is going to land for a base hit. It was tailing towards the right fielder, Ronald Jackson, who dove and missed it by a couple of inches. So a little flare single, and that's how this inning begins for the Surge. Off the bat, mentioned this large outfield, and outfielders are loath to take a step back, and sometimes might just wait a little bit too long, and that's what happened there. That ball falling in no man's land, and so Davis at first, and Kevin Putkonen, who is 1 for 2 with a single, a run batted in. He also walked and scored. Left-hand hitter, and he swings and chops one to second. And it's bobbled there, and he recovers to throw to first, and the throw is low and gets past everybody, bangs up against the dugout railing, and runners will end up at first and third as no one was covering home for a moment. Well, that's going to be, well, that could potentially be 2 errors, I suppose, on that play. And that's what it's going to be, 2 errors on Andres Arroyo, as the first error was when he failed to field the ground ball, and then the second one was when he threw it away, allowing Davis to go to third. So Plattsburgh now has 3 errors, 2 on that play and 1 by the right fielder earlier. So first and third, nobody out, and the hitter is Matt Martinez, and that pitch in the dirt. A big sweeping breaking ball, good block by the catcher, Yordani Salva. Ball one from Damian Boyun. Well, I wonder if Arroyo was thinking about the double play, and he was already thinking about throwing to second base to get the force before he had the ball. There's a swing and another chance for Arroyo. Ground ball, and he juggles this one. Picks it up, underhands it to first. This one is in time to get the out, so at least he gets the out there, but a run comes home to score. And the Surge lead 7-3 as Arroyo, charging that ball, is able to make the play to first base. So there would be no error on that. You can't assume a double play, but you know that's probably what he was thinking there too. Or maybe he was thinking about trying to come home with the ball. Ball slowly hits. At any rate, it is 7-3 Surge. There's one out in the inning. Kevin Putkonen is at second, and the first pitch to Javon Jackson hit in the air to right field. A long run for Ronald Jackson. He dives and cannot make the play. The ball lands, and runners are going to end up on second and third. That is a double for Javon Jackson, but the runner, Putkonen, had to wait to see if it was going to land or not. He was actually too close to second base, so he cannot score on that, so he goes to third. Well, Ronald Jackson in right field was racing after that ball, and it was handling away from him. And Joe Winkelsas is out to the mound, and he's going to actually make a change in the outfield, it looks like. So the wheels are turning here. Matt Taylor is going to right field for Ronald Jackson. And we're also going to have a pitching change. So we'll take a short break. This ball game in the sixth inning, the Surge leading the Redbirds by a score of 7-3. So we return to the situation here in the top of the 6th inning. There are runners on second and third. Kevin Pitkonen is at third, Javon Jackson is at second, and the new pitcher is actually the right fielder, Ronald Jackson. So the DH is gone. The first pitch is outside, ball 1. The new right fielder is Matt Taylor, as Joe Winklesass is trying to piece together this ball game. These teams have been playing every day for a long time. There's a pitch fouled away. And not only that, but in the coming couple of weeks here in Plattsburgh, these two teams, the Surge and the Redbirds, are going to play 8 games in the next 6 days. And then after that, the Redbirds will play 7 games in 5 days against Puerto Rico. And then there's a couple days off. And then it's the championships. And that pitch is low. And so Joe Winklesass trying to spare the arms of his bullpen and not burn through all of the pitchers on the team in a way to sort of, you don't want to go limping into the playoffs. So Ronald Jackson's going to get a turn, and the pitch inside, 3-1. Well, he comes from the left side. He's got a decent arm, obviously. I'm sure most of the players on the field have pitched at one point or another. And Plattsburgh starter Danny Roser did an admirable job given the scenario. And the 3-1 from Jackson. Line shot, and it is caught. Little humpback line drive right to the second baseman, Arroyo, who gloves it easily to his left. Well, there are 2 down now, and Tony Bucaris will step up to the plate.
Tony Bucaris.
Wasn't hit all that hard off the bat of James Simpson. Little humpback line drive and an easy play for Andres Arroyo. So Tony Bucaris, who was 0 for 3, he flat out twice and grounded out his last time. Up with runners on second and third. It is 7-3 Surge leading the Redbirds. We are in the 6th, and the pitch in the dirt, and a good block by Yordani Salva, ball 1. The third baseman, Brian Brademan, is right near the bag, having a short conversation with the base runner, Kevin Pitkonen. The shortstop, Martinez, is shaded up the middle. There's a pretty big hole on the left side for Tony Bucaris, and the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. Well, Jackson able to get the ball over the plate. One ball and 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch. That one's high and outside, 2-1. It's been beautiful weather today. It's hot and muggy, but the sun is out. It's not raining. There's been a lot of rain this year. I was told somewhere in the vicinity of 10 rainouts. And I imagine it feels like 20. Here's a pitch. That's a strike. 2-2. And that's part of the reason why these teams have had such a grueling schedule. There have been so many makeups and doubleheaders and games that were completed the next day because they had to be halted due to darkness. Sometimes you got to improvise. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. And this one in the dirt, and that's a heck of a block by Yordani Salva. In fact, it hit the batter. So it wasn't Salva who blocked it. Well, he's going to be told to stay at home plate. I guess Bucaris thought he was hit by the pitch. There was no call by the home plate umpire, Edgar Garcia. Take a look at it one more time. Looked like it hit the dirt and then maybe ricocheted off of Salva's glove, and then perhaps it hit Bucaris. At any rate, he is still up there. Count is full, 3-2, and he swings and pops it up to the right side, down the right field line in foul territory. A 3-man conversion, and nobody can get there. So the count remains full at 3-2. The Surge have added a run this inning. That run is unearned. Started with a single to Mike Davis, and then Kevin Pitkonen hit a ground ball to second that was actually played into 2 errors by Andres Arroyo. That put runners on second, first and third. There's ball 4 to Tony Bucaris, and that'll bring up Calvin Graves. So after that 2-error play with runners on first and second. There was another ground ball to the second baseman off the bat of Martinez. This time Arroyo made the play, but a run came home to score.
Calvin Graves.
Then Javon Jackson doubled down the right field line, hit a fly ball that Ronald Jackson could not get to. And then pitching change, a line out walk, and now Calvin Graves up. 7-3 surge in the sixth inning. The bases are loaded for Graves. And this one inside. It looked like he had half a mind to try to lean into that one and get nicked on the elbow, but he did not. Graves is 1 for 2 since coming into the ball game. He hit a 2-run single his last time. 1-0 from Jackson. The pitch inside. That one hit him. And that's going to drive home a run and make it 8-3. This one bouncing in the dirt before it hit Graves. So Graves will get a run batted in the painful way. Pitkonen scores. Jackson goes to third, and Becaris is at second. And the score is 8-3 surge. Look at this one on the replay. Now the top of the order, Edgar LeBron. Well, Ronald Jackson, the right fielder, called on to pitch. And his job is to try to just throw strikes and hope they hit it at somebody. And this one in the dirt, and that one ricocheted, I guess, off the shin guard of the catcher, Yordani Salva. It's kind of a loud thud. Sounded like the ball hit something plastic and ricocheted back. And now Joe Winklesass hustles out of the dugout to give a little pep talk to Ronald Jackson. Try to calm him down. Well, Jackson came on, first couple of hitters he faced, he threw some strikes. Got the first man, James Simpson, out on a line drive, but then he walked Becaris. He hit Graves, and he very nearly hit LeBron on that very first pitch. One ball and no strikes, bases loaded. And a big swing, nothing there, strike one. This is LeBron's 5th plate appearance in 6 innings. Yeah. He's single, doubled, and tripled. So you know what that means. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one is low, 2-1. Well, he was swinging for a home run on that last pitch, that's for sure. So if he hits a grand slam home run, is that like a grand cycle? Grand cycle indeed. 2-1 the pitch. Well, he hits a ground ball fouled on the third base line. A little dance move by Javon Jackson, showing off his skills. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. There are 2 outs in the inning. Let's see, the inning started. Davis singled, Pitkonen reached on the error. Martinez grounded out to drive home a run. Jackson doubled, then there was a pitching change. Simpson lined out, Becaris walked, Graves hit by pitch, and now Edgar LeBron, who is 3 for 4, has a 2-2 count. And the pitch off the plate away, full count now. Now LeBron not giving away anything. Sometimes when you see a hitter facing a position player who's, not normally a pitcher or hasn't pitched in a while, they might be a little bit over-aggressive. But he was not, and he takes ball 4, and that will drive home another run. That makes it 9-3. As the bases loaded walk, it's not the most exciting way to get a run batted in, but LeBron will take it just the same. As Jackson scored, Becaris moves to third, Graves goes to second, and now the 9th man to bat in the inning, Jake Walters, comes up. These 2 teams will meet again tomorrow at 4:30. We will bring you that game, so be sure to tune in. Walters is 0 for 2 with 2 walks, and he is hit by the pitch. And that makes it 10-3. And Joe Winklesass might be forced to make a move. He's looking down at the bullpen. And you got to feel bad for the players that are forced into this situation. They've had a grueling schedule, and a lot of people's arms are depleted, as there's going to be some activity in the Plattsburgh bullpen. Looks like Matias Leyva is beginning to stretch out. But I mentioned these guys have to play 8 times in 6 days and then another 7 in 5. And so the base is still loaded. 10-3 surge as this ball game is slipping away from the Redbirds. Mike Davis, the hitter now. And the pitch is high. One ball and no strikes. Davis walked flat out, struck out, and singled to score a run in the 6th inning. This one is low, 2-0. Now Ronald Jackson. Sometimes it's a lonely feeling out there, but he's trying to give Joe Winklesass some strikes. Just one more out is all, and you know he desperately wants to do that. This is part of the mental aspect of being a baseball player. There's a ground ball right back to him, and he throws to first, and the inning is over. 1-3 on the putout. But the Surge send 10 men to the plate, and they lead this ball game by a score of 10-3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Plattsburgh Redbirds baseball live on the Empire Pro League YouTube channel.
Donnie Selva.
To the bottom of the 6th inning, the Surge with another 4 spot in the top half, and they have opened up a 7-run lead, 10-3. As Matt Picucci cruising right along, he has given up 3 runs on 4 hits. Only 2 of those runs are earned. There's a swing and a broken bat fly ball, and it's going to land in the left field. A base hit for Yordani Salva. First pitch swinging, and Plattsburgh has a base runner. As the barrel of the bat came to rest about halfway between third and home, retrieved by the catcher, James Simpson, hands it to the bat boy. And so a leadoff single for Salva, and that'll bring up Brian Brademan. Brademan has flied out, and then he singled and drive home a run in the 4th inning. Plattsburgh briefly had the lead in this ball game by a score of 3-2. First pitch to Bradman is low. But things fell apart in the 5th inning as Danny Roser ran out of gas. Got to give him credit, though. He pitched 4 1/3 innings. Considering that was his first time pitching all year. Swing and a miss. Bradman going for the downs, and it is 1-1. Picucci has allowed just the 5 hits. And that pitch misses, 2-1. He has 3 strikeouts. Solve with a runner on first base. And a swing and a miss. A late swing by Bradman, and the count 2-2. 10 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors for the Surge. 3, 5, and 3 for Plattsburgh. As the sun is beginning to set here, a couple of clouds rolling in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the 4th strikeout now for Matt Picucci. That raises his league-leading total to 39. And now Andres Arroyo steps up. Arroyo struck out and drove home a run with a sac fly. That was the 3rd run of the game for Plattsburgh, but then in the 6th inning, he made 2 errors on 1 play, so he would like to atone for that. 1 out, runner on first base. And the pitch is low from Picucci. And Picucci varies his motion to the plate when there's a runner on. Sometimes he'll lift up the leg. Sometimes he does the slide step. I can only remember 1 time that he's thrown to first base, maybe twice in this game. Here's the pitch. Popped up a mile high right in the center of the diamond. Who's going to get it? LeBron and the third baseman, and the first baseman now makes the call on the catch. That's Kevin Putkonen. Looked like a little bit of an adventure for a moment. That ball was so high, and the wind was playing with it just a bit. But Putkonen had the best angle, and he made the catch as he was crossing in front of the mound. So there are 2 down. And now Matt Taylor, who entered the game when Ronald Jackson was called on to pitch, is going to step up to the plate. Taylor is hitting 162 in 26 games, and he looks at a ball, low, 1 ball and no strikes. Surge 10, Redbirds 3. And the 1-0 pitch. That one is low, 2-0. Now Picucci steps off for a moment. That's a high fly ball deep to left field. Davis is back. He's at the warning track at the wall, and he leaps. That ball hits the top of the fence and goes over for a 2-run home run. And that makes it 10-5, and it's something for the Redbirds fans to cheer about. A 2-run home run off the bat of Matt Taylor. Well, let's look at the replay. Got a pitch right down the center of the plate, and he crushed it. But Davis, the left fielder, tracking the ball all the way, and that ball took a big bounce off the very top of the railing of the fence. That's about an 8-foot high fence out there, and he got it out of here. There's a swing and a miss by Tarek Elibor. So it is 10-5 on the 2-run home run. And Elibor, who is over 2, struck out and grounded out, now comes up. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Elibor didn't really mean it, but couldn't hold up. And so he steps in the box. He's thinking about it. Matt Picucci trying to come back to retire the side after the 2-run home run off the bat of Matt Taylor. The 0-2. Popped foul, and Elibor stays alive. That one sends a couple of kids running. Yeah, bring your glove to the ballpark, always. Especially this one. No balls and 2 strikes on Tarek Elibor. Here it comes. Curve ball, and he got him swinging. So the inning is over. Matt Picucci strikes out 2 in the inning, but he also gives up 2 runs on 2 hits. The 2-run home run off the bat of Matt Taylor. And we will go to the 7th inning here in Plattsburgh. The Surge 10, the Redbirds 5. You are watching Empire Pro League Baseball. So we go to the top of the 7th inning, and there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Redbirds. And it's Matthias Leyva. He has pitched in 3 games. He's got an ERA of 3, 9 innings. And so the right-hander kicks and deals. The first pitch to Kevin Pitkonen is high for a ball. So Ronald Jackson pitched 2/3 of an inning. He did not give up a hit, but he gave up a run, 3 walks, plus a couple of hit by pitch, or 1 hit by pitch. And the pitch on the way. There's a little cue shot off the end of the bat rolling towards third. Grabbed by Brademan. His throw is high, but enough time to come down. Manny Sanchez with his foot on the bag, and they get the out at first base, 5-3. Brian Brademan making the play. That'll bring up Matt Martinez. One out, nobody on. And the pitch from Leyva is fouled to the screen, strike 1. Leyva is from Adelanto, California, played in the Mount Rainier Professional Baseball League. Also played in the Pecos League. Went to Kansas Wesleyan University, right-hander. Listed at 5'11", 165 pounds. He's got an 0-1 count on Matt Martinez. Big curve, and that one is a beauty. He drops in for strike 2. So Matthias Leyva ahead of Martinez 0-2. There has not been a short inning when the Surge were on offense. There's a pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The first inning they sent 7 men to the plate. They sent 5 in the second, 5 in the third, 5 in the fourth, 8 in the fifth, and 10 in the sixth. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And that one is up high and away, 2-2. They have scored 2 in the first, 4 in the fifth, and 4 in the sixth for their 10 runs. Have the surge. They have 10 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. Plattsburgh with 5 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. Plattsburgh fans have had the joy of seeing a home run. There's a big curve, and it's a little bit too high. And the count now full 3-2. And the payoff. Low ball 4. Well, that is the 10th walk issued by Plattsburgh pitching in the game. And it's with 1 out here in the 7th inning. And the next hitter, the number 6 hitter, Javon Jackson. Javon Jackson hit a sacrifice fly to drive home a run in the first, and then he singled in the third, and then he has walked to score a run and then doubled and scored a run. So he's, like most other surge, he's been on base several times today. The pitch, that's a strike at the very top of the zone, 0-1. There's the 0-1. That one missed inside. Leyva trying that breaking ball again. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on first base is Matt Martinez. He's being held on by Manny Sanchez. And here comes the 1-1 pitch from Leyva. Line shot up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. And Martinez stops at second base. That ball was stung. And the Surge keep on surging. They have 11 hits in the ball game now. First and second. Let's look at that pitch on the replay. Matthias Leyva got a pitch up and out over the plate, and Jackson really yanking the bat through the zone, lined it to the left of second base. And so 2 on with 1 out, and James Simpson, the catcher, he doubled and scored in the 5th inning, so he is 1 for 4. And he's been up with runners on every single time. Surge 10, Redbirds 5. And the pitch, that's a curveball in there for a strike. Leyva has gotten a couple of those over. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. That's a high fly ball to medium depth left center field. Nazario Cruz is over. Runners are tagging. He makes the catch. And here comes the throw to third base. It is not going to be in time as the lead runner, Martinez, tags and goes to third on the fly ball. Javon Jackson, the trail runner, stayed put. So there are 2 outs in the inning. Runners on first and third. And now Tony Bucharest will step up to the plate. Looked like a pitch that was hittable for Simpson, and he just missed it. Ended up popping it up into deep left center field. And Tony Bucharest, who is 0 for 3, but he walked and scored in the 6th, will step up to the plate. Well, Bucharest in the 5th inning came up and grounded out with runners on second and third, and that was the 2nd out of the inning. It looked like Plattsburgh was going to get out of that inning, but then the wheels fell off, and the pitch, that's a curve in for a strike, 0-1. That's the 3rd consecutive hitter that Leyva has started with that breaking ball. And he's gotten the strike in there. Runners on first and third. Jackson at first, Martinez at third. 2 outs, and the 1 strike pitch to Bucharest. There's a big looping curve too high. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Leyva's pitch popped up to right center field. Matt Taylor drifting over. He's underneath it. And he puts it away for the final out of the inning. No damage as the Surge get a couple base runners on, but they cannot score. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is time to stretch here in Plattsburgh. The Surge 10, the Redbirds 5. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning as Matt Picucci, who is at 79 pitches, very comfortable pitch count as we begin the bottom of the 7th. He's on the mound as the Surge lead the Redbirds by a score of 10-5, and it'll be 8-9-1. Manny Sanchez, Ronald Jackson. There's a swing and a little liner off the end of the bat, and it gets through into center field, a base hit for Manny Sanchez. He rounds first and stops there. Hit it off the end of the bat. That is the 7th hit for the Redbirds. So now Ronald Jackson will step up, and then it will be the top of the order, Christian Nazario Cruz. So 8-9-1. Plattsburgh trying to come back, and now we're going to have a pinch hitter, it looks like. Yeah, that's right, Matias Leyva. Yeah, excuse me, Ronald Jackson out of the ball game. So Leyva going to hit for himself. And the pitch misses for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Leyva, let's see if he's batted yet this year. Nope. And he looks at a pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. So Plattsburgh, Manny Sanchez is the runner on first base. They're trailing by 5. It's not insurmountable. And he swings and pops it up, and he threw his bat off the third base side. That ball's going to be over the screen. And it bangs down the down the steps right into the glove of that kid that I mentioned before wearing the Yankees hat, Yankees jersey, and the Redbirds hat, Yankees t-shirt rather. Made a nice play on that little ground ball. Went right down the steps, right into his glove. Well done, lad. Meanwhile, that swing from Leyva was... well, nobody got hurt on it, but the bat ended up in the on-deck circle. And he's up there right now, adjusting his batting gloves. And he retrieves the bat, which was standing in the upright position on home plate. 2 balls and a strike on him. And he hits a ground ball up the middle, and it is fielded by LeBron. Feeds second 1. They throw to first in the dirt and dug out nicely by Pitkonen. That is a 6-4-3 double play. Hit it pretty hard, did Leyva. And LeBron, who struggled a little bit defensively earlier in the game, this time he made a nice play and flipped it to Walters, who made a quick turn. His throw to first was low, but Pitconen scooped it about 3 feet in front of the bag. And that's a 6-4-3. There are 2 down. And now Christian Nazario Cruz will step up to the plate. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. Nazario Cruz is 1 for 3. He reached on an error, flied out, and singled. And Picucci misses high with a fastball. 2-0. It's been a while since we've seen that big curveball from Matt Picucci. Broke it out a couple of times when the Redbirds hitters were really not expecting it. And the 2-0. That's a fastball strike on the outside corner, I guess with a 5-run lead. Might as well just go at him. Tomorrow's game is most likely going to start a little bit earlier than planned. Normally it's on the schedule for 4:30, but there's a swing and a pop-up. Tomorrow's game will start probably at 4 p.m. as this ball is coming down, and it's into the glove of the catcher, Simpson, who caught it on the fair side of the line, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. As Simpson was staggering around a little bit trying to find that ball in the overcast sky, but he does so. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the 8th inning. It is Old Orchard Beach Surge 10, Plattsburgh Redbirds 5. We'll be back in the 8th inning. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. We go to the top of the 8th inning here in Plattsburgh. The Surge 10, the Redbirds 5. And just want to remind everybody that tomorrow's ball game, which was scheduled for 4:30, we're going to start at 4. As it's beginning to get darker sooner here, and when clouds roll in, that makes it even more difficult for the players to see. And when a ball game lasts around 3 hours, can't count on that daylight as Matias Leiva goes back to work, and he's going to face Calvin Graves. And the first pitch hit on 1 bounce to the third baseman, Bradman. He juggles, recovers, throws, and it's not in time. So Graves reaches first base. And I presume that will be an E5. It was a ground ball on 1 hop right to him, chest high. And he juggled it. And that is Plattsburgh's 4th error in the game. Both teams have been a little bit fast and loose with the baseball. 2 errors on the board for the Surge. And so they've got the lead runner on, Calvin Graves at first, and now Edgar LeBron, the hitter. First pitch in the dirt. LeBron tripled to start the game, then he flied out, then he doubled, then he singled to drive home a run, then he walked to drive home a run. Just a little bit of everything. On the other side, he also has made an error in the ball game, but he's also made a couple of nice defensive plays, including that double play last inning. There's a pitch on the corner at the letters for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Matthias Leva, the fourth pitcher, well, the fourth person to be on the mound for the Redbirds, maybe only the second actual pitcher that they've used. They've had to use a couple position players, and he gets a swing and a miss on a good curveball to LeBron. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The game was started by Danny Roser, who was the SUNY Plattsburgh boy. He pitched 4 1/3 innings. Was able to walk the tightrope for a few innings, and the pitch, check swing on a breaking ball. He went around. That is strike 3. First base occupied, so he cannot try to go to first base. The ball was picked up out of the dirt by Selva, ready to fire just in case Graves was going to go. So there's 1 down, and now Jake Walters will step up to the plate. Walters walked and scored in the first, then he walked again in the second. He's flied out, popped out, and was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. So he's scored a run and driven 1 in, and he hasn't hit the ball out of the infield. There's a pitch that missed for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. One out, 8th inning. And that fastball catches the corner. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to Walters. Center fielder Cruz is playing Walters as if he's going to pull the ball. It's about maybe 10 steps to the left of dead center. And a big curve. This one popped foul over the screen, out of play. Who's going to get it? That ball bouncing down the steps again. As you can clearly hear now, the kids are jumping all over the place trying to get that ball. Retrieved by a kid in a blue shirt. That kid looks familiar. 1 and 2 on Jake Walters. The grandstand here is made out of metal, and it vibrates the microphone. It sounds like the microphone is inside a box. There's a blast pulled foul. Now, there were some people picnicking out there before, but they've left. They would have had a souvenir if they stuck around. Instead, that ball bounces off into the trees. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jake Walters. Runner on first base is Calvin Graves. 10-5 the Surge lead. The pitch inside. Walters was expecting the breaking ball away, and that pitch stayed straight, and he almost leaned right into it. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. See a few folks that have shown up. Some fans that rode the bike here. There's another hot shot pulled foul. This area is surrounded by paths that lead off into the woods. There are some nice bike trails back here. So if you're looking for a nice summer activity, you can go on a bike ride, come and check out a Redbirds game. And now that the sun is covered with some clouds, there's a nice, very refreshing breeze. It had been so humid. There's another ground ball pulled foul. And this one ricocheting off the fence and trickling down the warning track. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matthias Leva came on and got the final out last inning. No, excuse me. He got the final out in the 6th inning. What am I talking about? My handwriting is horrible. He started the 7th inning. And this pitch is high. So now full count. Jake Walters, one of the league's most dangerous hitters, has a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Runner on first base, 1 out. 10-5 Surge leading the Redbirds. And a breaking ball is taken for ball 4. Good at bat by Walters as he recognized the pitch on its way in and was able to hold off. And now the first baseman, Manny Sanchez, giving a few words of advice to his pitcher, Leva.
Mike Davis.
And now Mike Davis steps up with 2 on again. base runners galore for the Surge. They left 2 in the first after having scored 2. They left 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. And then they scored 4 in the fifth and scored 4 in the sixth. There's the pitch to Davis. Swing and a miss, strike 1. They left 2 last inning, even though they did not score. They left the bases loaded in the sixth after they had scored 4 runs. So let's see what the totals are. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 runners left on base. And they've got 2 more right now. 1 strike on Mike Davis. And a back pick attempt and safe. As the catcher Salva was thinking, trying to pick off the trail runner, and they Sanchez and Jake Walters kind of collided as Sanchez went to cover first base, and you see their legs collided on that pickoff attempt, and Walters tumbled over and went down. He was holding his right shin. He's standing now. Pascual Santiago out of the dugout for the Surge to give him a look. Well, you don't want to see injuries, especially when the season is winding down and your team, the Surge, they're currently leading in the second half standings. Walters is still hobbling around. He's leaning over and checking what looks like his right calf muscle, and he so far looks like he's unable to bend his right leg. And he's going to come out of this ball game. So Walters is going to be pinch run for, and he's going to have to be carried off the field. Well, not carried completely, but assisted. And so he gets a nice round of applause from the fans here in Plattsburgh. It's always tough to see injuries. This one occurring on the back pick attempt from the catcher Yordani Salva. And Jake Walters being assisted off the field with the help of his teammates and his coach. And we're going to have a pinch runner, and that's going to be Kevin Phelps. Pinch running for Jake Walters. So Walters had been playing second base. We'll see if Phelps goes in there. So he's now the runner at first base. And Mike Davis has a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And we're ready to continue. Runners on first and second, 1 out. And there's a line drive fouled on the third base line on a breaking ball. 1-2 now the count. Well, it's dusk here in Plattsburgh. It's about 7:15 p.m. The game started roughly 2 hours and 45 minutes ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Mike Davis. And the pitch, a high pop-up in the middle of the infield, and that's a catch from the third baseman. The infield fly should have been called. Neither umpire called it, looked like to me. And the third baseman, Bradman, had to race in and make the catch in front of the mound. Second out of the inning. That ball was up there for a long time, and watch Bradman. I think he was waiting for the call, and he was following the flight of the ball the whole way, and he actually caught it halfway between the pitcher's mound and first base. So there are 2 down. Kevin Pitkonen steps up to the plate. Well, the Surge have threatened every inning. They've only scored in 3 of the innings, but certainly doesn't feel that way. As Pitkonen looks at a ball in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes from Matias Leyva. Pitkonen singled to drive home a run, then he flied out, then he walked and scored, then he reached on an error and scored, and then he grounded out. So he's officially 1 for 4. Left-hand hitter. Runners on first and second. And a high fly ball hit off the end of the bat to shallow right center field. And that ball is caught by the second baseman, Arroyo, who had to reach out to the outfield side. and snag it before it dropped among the 3 outfielders. So the pop out ends the inning. And once again, the Surge strand 2 base runners. They get no runs, however, on no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Surge 10, the Redbirds 5. You're watching Empire Pro League Baseball. Welcome back to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Plattsburgh Redbirds with 2 more chances to try to come back. They are trailing this ball game to the Old Orchard Beach Surge 10-5. And Matt Picucci, whose pitch count is under 90, I believe, is out there for his 8th inning of work. He's pitched very well. He's allowed 5 runs on 7 hits. First pitch shot on the ground to third, fielded by Bacaris. His throw across the diamond is in time. 1 pitch and 1 out as Josh Martinez grounds out. After Martinez, now Yordani Salva will step up to the plate, and then Brian Brademan, 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Plattsburgh. But Picucci, with his pitch count where it is, he has not walked a batter. He struck out 5, and he very well could go the full distance in this ball game. And Yordani Salva steps up to the plate. Salva has scored 2 runs today. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 4th. And then he singled in the 6th and scored. Picucci has 2 complete games already this year, which is tied for 2nd in the league with 2 other players, Casey Cannon and Scott Hall. There's a pop-up in foul territory. It's going to stay in the park, and Putkonen reaches up and makes the catch. So there are 2 down, and Matt Picucci 4 outs away from his 3rd complete game of the year.
Brian Bradman.
So now Brian Bradman will step up to the plate. Bradman is 1 for 3. He flied out, singled and scored a run. Also drove 1 in the 4th. And then he struck out in the 6th. And Picucci's pitch is up high, ball 1. Infield is playing very deep. The shortstop and second baseman are on the outfield grass, as a matter of fact. And a big swing, nothing there for Bradman. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Phelps, by the way, is the new second baseman. He came in when Walters was injured on the pickoff attempt. Walters injuring his left leg. There's his right leg, rather. That pitch is low, 2 balls and 1 strike to Bradman. Two down in the bottom of the 8th. And the left-hander Picucci kicks and deals. Bradman fouls it away, and the count now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the left-hander from Naples, Florida, who is 24 years old, former Sonoma Stomper, listed as 6'3", 225, and he has been very good today. There's that big curve, and he got him looking. Strike three, and it's a 1-2-3 eighth inning for Matt Picucci, who is picking up steam as we head to the ninth inning. The Surge 10, the Redbirds 5, and we'll be right back. This is Empire Pro League Baseball.
Matt Martinez.
So we go to the top of the ninth inning, and it's going to be 5, 6, and 7. Matt Martinez, Javon Jackson, and James Simpson against Matias Leyva. Leyva has dodged a couple of bullets, and the first pitch is low, ball one. Leyva came on to start the seventh inning. He allowed a hit and a walk, and he also allowed a walk and an error last inning, but he has stranded all the base runners. He's not allowed any runs. It is 10-5 Surge as we are in the top of the ninth inning. Remember, tomorrow's ball game is going to start at 4 p.m. There's a fly ball lifted to right center field. Long run for Martinez and Graves. Excuse me, that's Cruz and Taylor. That was Taylor who made the catch. Looked at the wrong side of my scorebook. So Matt Taylor, drifting out into deep right field, made that catch. Okay, so Arroyo is in right field. Beg your pardon, there's been a defensive change. Matt Taylor's at second base, and Andres Arroyo is in right field. So that was Arroyo who made that catch. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. So Javon Jackson will step up to the plate. He's got 3 hits today, plus a sac fly and a walk. Not a bad day. And that's a strike from Leyva.
Jackson.
So the defensive alignment now, Bradman at third, Martinez at short, Taylor at second, Sanchez at first. In the outfield, it's Elibor in left, Nazario Cruz in center, and Andres Arroyo in right. This one low again. Salva has blocked a whole bunch of those back there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Matt Picucci, 3 outs away from his 3rd complete game. He is trying to remain undefeated. That ball popped foul out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's no activity, well, there is some activity in the bullpen for the Surge, but it's not very urgent activity. So we will see, although I presume if there's somebody throwing, they might be putting Picucci on a short leash. Although with a 5-run lead, and Picucci's pitch count is very low. He's, I believe, somewhere around 90. I don't have an exact pitch count. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And that big curve is high to Javon Jackson. 2 balls and 2 strikes. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow starting at 4 p.m. So be sure to check it out. You can check it out in the same YouTube channel. We will set up the stream. The 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right field, and Andres Arroyo cuts over a few steps to his left and makes the catch for the second out. And that will bring up James Simpson. Simpson today has struck out twice, and then he doubled to drive home a run. Then he lined out and flied out, so he's 1 for 5. His fly out last time, he just got under and hit a fly ball to deep left center field.
Jake Simpson.
Two down, Matias Leyva has the sign from Salva, and the pitch. That curve is high. 1 ball, no strikes. There's the 1-0 pitch. That one in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Leyva's done a good job. He has not allowed a run. He is the only Plattsburgh pitcher not to allow a run in this ballgame. The game was started by Danny Roser. Zach Breen was scheduled to start the game and was extremely sick today. So the Redbirds are hoping he can pitch tomorrow. 2-0 pitch. That is low and outside, 3-0. And that sort of left Joe Winklesass, the Redbirds head coach, in a precarious situation. So he's had to use 2 position players as pitchers, including Roser, the starter, who pitched very well considering. 4 1/3 innings. There's a strike, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Damian Boyun went 1 inning and gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. Ronald Jackson came in, got 2 outs, but then he lost the strike zone. And then Matias Leyva has come on and been very good. There's a fly ball to right field. Andres Arroyo cutting over towards the line. He has the ball go off of his glove, and he recovers quickly. The throw comes to second base, but it's not in time. So let's see how that's scored. I'm pretty sure Arroyo would tell you he should have caught it, and that's going to be another error for Plattsburgh. An E9. That is error number 5. And for Arroyo, that's a tough day. He's made 3. He made 2 at second base, and now he makes 1 in right field. So a 2-base error with 2 outs, and Tony Bacaris will step up to the plate.
Tony Bacaris.
Well, Arroyo, he covered a lot of ground to get to that ball. And Bacaris looks at a breaking ball. That's a strike. 7 errors in the ball game. 5 for the Redbirds. 1 strike the count to Tony Bacaris. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 the count now. There are 2 outs in the inning. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. So Leyva records his 2nd strikeout, and the 2-out error does not factor into any scoring. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. And we will go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Plattsburgh with their last chance to make a comeback against Matt Picucci, trying to throw his league-leading 3rd complete game. And we'll be right back. This is Empire Pro League Baseball. Surge 10, Redbirds 5. So to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Matt Picucci's day is over, and he had a very good one. 8 innings, 7 hits, or 6 hits rather, 5 runs, 4 earned, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. He is in line to get his 6th win against no losses, and he's been relieved by Nathaniel Leon, whose first pitch to Andres Arroyo is outside for a ball. So Leon tasked with getting the final 3 outs of this ball game. He is from Brooklyn, New York. And there's a swing and a foul tip, strike 1. It's went to Archbishop Malloy High School. That's in Jamaica, which is in Queens. Attended St. Peter's University, Jersey City, New Jersey. And he's a side-arming right-hander, and there's a sweeping breaking ball hit in the air to left field. And Davis is right there to make the catch, 1 down. And Plattsburgh down to their final 2 outs here in this ball game. Looks like the sun is actually kind of trying to come out again after all those overcast clouds the last 45 minutes, making it dark and maybe somewhat tough to see the ball now. It's a little bit brighter than it was.
Matt Taylor.
Tomorrow's ball game going to start at 4 p.m. These 2 teams right back here, same place, same channel. And Matt Taylor steps up. Taylor looks at a sweeping breaking ball. That one comes back into the inside corner, strike 1. Taylor entered the ball game when Ronald Jackson was called on to pitch, and he homered in his only at-bat. There's a fastball over the outside corner, and he's quickly behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. That's that sweeping breaking ball down and away. Taylor did not chase. 1 out. Tarek Elabor is on deck. 10-5 the Surge leading the Redbirds. And a big swing. And the count's still 1-2 as he fouled it back to the screen. Plattsburgh's overall record of 25-18, they are tied with Old Orchard Beach. But Old Orchard Beach leading the standings in the second half of the season with a 10-3 record. Plattsburgh, if they lose this one, they will fall to 500 in the second half, 7-7. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Matt Taylor. The pitch way outside, and the count 2-2. The Plattsburgh has already punched their ticket to the final, that we know. And right now, Old Orchard Beach is running away with the second half. They would be the opponent. These 2 teams have met 8 times already. That pitch was outside for ball 3, and Plattsburgh has won 5 out of the 8 games. But it's been a pretty even matchup when you go back and look. So if these 2 teams are the teams that meet in the final, it should be a very exciting final. 3-2 to Matt Taylor. The pitch inside, ball 4. He was behind 0-2, and then he comes back to draw the walk. So Taylor's had 2 good at-bats, a home run and a walk. And now Tarek Elabor, who has struck out twice and grounded out, will step to the plate. There's 1 out in the inning. It's 10-5. Plattsburgh trying to come up with a rally. They weren't really able to do much against Matt Picucci. And Elabor squares to bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Elabor, that would be bunting for a hit for sure. Third baseman Becaris is playing back, and he did not budge when Elabor showed for bunt. Shortstop LeBron and Phelps, the second baseman, both playing deep, looking for a ground ball to turn 2. And the 1-0 pitch. There's a slow ground ball to third. Becaris has it. He goes to second. 1. The relay to first. In time, and the ball game is over. A 5-4-3 double play, scooped nicely by Pitkonen, as Phelps' throw was a little bit low. But a bang-bang play. And Elabor bangs into a 5-4-3 double play to end the game, and the Surge win by a score of 10-5. Look at it one more time on the replay. Not an easy ball to turn into a double play, but the Surge able to do it. And that will do it for us here from Chip Cummings Field in Plattsburgh. My name is Tim Collins. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. The highlights will be uploaded later tonight on the Empire League YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch all the highlights. You can also rewatch today's ball game as you wish on demand in the same place. And we were going to broadcast tomorrow's game starting at 4 p.m., I'm told. 4 p.m., the Old Orchard Beach Surge 10, the Redbirds 5. The final score, the Surge in the second half now have a record of 11-3. They extend their lead in the second half part of the season. And the Plattsburgh Redbirds fall to 7-7. So have a good night, everybody. That concludes the broadcast for today. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m.